Go.
All right, we are live. Been oh man, guys, it's been a couple of weeks since we've last been here.
It is.
Um,
It feels like it's been a year.
oh, it's been a long 2 weeks. Yeah, but it was necessary, and I am glad to be back tonight playing some D&D with my friends. We're gonna figure out what they're doing tonight.
Oh boy.
It'll be a learning experience
The
for
DM.
everyone.
Ever.
But it happens to everybody occasionally.
So,
Mm-hmm.
where we last left our adventures, the party had barely managed to defeat a breeder troll, a rare female troll, in an arena. After the victory, the party was taken back to the same city where they ate and drank the night away. And the city is the city of Baran. They celebrated eating and drinking throughout the night, having their fill of food and ale, as much as they wanted, essentially, and at no cost, because they were celebrating. Because that fight was much different than what everyone thought it was going to be. But the party later found out from Palig that the female trolls are extremely more dangerous and important than the male trolls in troll society. But nevertheless, the party was victorious, and they had a feast and celebration for winning. And we will pick up in the morning of the following morning. So everybody has had a long rest, effectively. However, some of you may be waking up with hangovers. So, Cardin, I'm assuming you got plastered.
Yes.
Did anybody else drink excessively the night before?
Excessively, no.
More than likely not.
Not excessively, but I definitely had a few.
Fair enough. Okay. Then I will say the only person for the purposes of this who are hungover is Cardin, just because everybody else probably more or less drank responsibly.
Fair enough.
So, just bear that in mind as you are waking up today, Cardin. So, I will say, because you guys ate and drank into the late evening, that as you guys begin to stir, it's already late morning. So it's probably 9 or 10 a.m. rather than your guys' usual, 6 or 7 of waking up.
Sleeping in.
Yeah, we'll call it that.
Oh man, I haven't slept that well in a while.
Where did you all sleep, by the way?
I'm hoping we made it to a campsite at the very least.
I was assuming we basically went back to the same campsite we used that one time. Roughly.
Okay.
That
I
was
would
really fun.
I would say the 3 of you at the very least could, but does anybody help Cardin get back?
Cardin? Oh shit, where is Cardin? Did somebody grab him?
So
'Cause
no.
I didn't.
I think we were all a little too tired to pay attention to where the barbarian went.
I was too distracted, I think.
So I'm gonna say Cardin.
Last I
Roll-
saw, he was passed out in the town square.
Cardin, go ahead and just roll me a straight wisdom check.
Oh no!
Oh
That's a 5.
no! Flop, flop.
I'm gonna say, Cardin, you wake up in. You wake up with a bunch of pigs around you. You're in the the pig pit.
Oh no!
It smells awful, and you don't know if it's you or them.
When I wake up, I'm like, pig. River, now.
All right, so you begin
Um,
making your way towards the river.
Is we
Yeah.
wake up?
I'm sorry.
Is the rest of us wake up? Where's Carden? Should we find him before he does anything?
What's the worst he could do? I think he drank the whole. I think he drank the whole town dry last night.
Last time I saw a barbarian drunk, they cleared an entire city block.
Well, good thing this isn't a city.
I mean, at least right now he's probably not drunk. He's probably just really hungover.
That's almost worse.
We should probably find him.
Yeah, we probably should.
Something like a mile away, you hear like.
I think he's that way.
We follow the moans and groans of pain.
Okay.
Doesn't hurt.
Yes. Okay, so you guys begin convening with everybody else of your party. Eventually, Carden, you and the rest of them are reunited, and you guys.
Before we reunite, would I have enough time to like take a bath in the river or like wash off in the river? Since I woke up in a pigsty.
I will say go ahead and roll an initiative check for me, just to kind of see how quick you are. 12. I'm gonna say like, okay, so this is what I'm gonna say happens. You guys like meet up almost like right outside of town, and what I mean by that is like you, Valinar, you have the highest passive perception, so you're kind of like, oh hey look, there's Carden, and Carden is just literally mid-air cannonballing into the river.
I'm just gonna get out some paper, write down 10, and hold up a 10.
Hey, Rip, look who's in chat.
I see that.
Hey, Arctic.
Yeah. Just so you know, Arctic, if we don't reply to messages and stuff like that, it's because we're trying to avoid looking at chat just for the purposes of backseat gaming and stuff like that, just to kind of keep the story our own. We do see you, we do acknowledge you, we do appreciate you being here and supporting. And like I said,
Cool name.
Mm-hmm. During the break, we'll be more than happy to converse with you and stuff like that. But during the actual gameplay and stuff like that, we tend to not look at chat as often. So, unless there's anything there that needs to be addressed, and then we'll do so. Just to kind of keep it within the fantasy world. So I will say, kind of merging back into that now, I will say, Carden, as you kind of, as your head, breaks the surface of the water and you kind of look around, you do see your companions kind of walking up or down, I guess down the side of the riverbank. One of them is holding a piece of paper with some scribblings on it in the air.
As we get closer, Prakti's gonna gotta get a whiff of something nasty and just plug his nose. Oh, what is that horrible smell?
Probably pig.
At least livestock.
I woke up in a pigsty.
How drunk did you get last night? Do I want to know what you did?
I mean, that's not quite so bad. I had one guy wake up in somebody's septic tank once.
Ugh.
Let me tell you, as somebody who has sprayed, who has used a power washer to clean out a hog barn, it is that bad. I would rather have to clean out a sewage tank than do that job again, because the smell is so bad and it sinks into everything. We were wearing an additional set of overhauls over top of our clothes and boots and stuff like that. When I was done with that job, I took because I wore the same pair of blue jeans basically every day. I took those pairs of blue jeans and the 3 or 4 different shirts that I had, and I literally burned them.
Jeez.
And I still had the smell of hog and crap that it felt like it was in my skin. It was so bad. So, yeah, Cardin smells pretty bad right now. Even after jumping into the river here, it does help. I will say that, Cardin, it does help, but it is still pretty bad.
Just try not to poison the water. People have to drink that.
Should we burn the clothes?
I need new ones.
Do you want to see Cardin running around absolutely in the nude?
I don't know. It's that or the smell all the time.
It's a tough choice to make.
Let's
what do you-
go into the village and see if they have something for him to wear. Cardin, you keep you stay there and try and get the smell out, huh?
Sounds good.
Just pick up some grass and just rub it on yourself. At least that way, maybe you'll smell like grass instead of ass.
So we head into town to look for something for him to wear.
Okay. So you head into town. Probably the only thing in town that would have clothes would be like the general store here. I don't even know how big. Cardin, how big is your character?
He's not insane. He's
little over 6.
he's 5'9" and 235 pounds.
Okay.
Okay.
Your muscle though.
Right. I just was wondering because I'm looking for price on clothing, and I'm not.
Clothing was roughly all the same price.
Yeah, it is. A lot of times it varies depending on the individual size and how high quality you're wanting something. But with him
Common clothes is about 5 silver pieces according to the gear table.
Yeah.
So not overly expensive.
No, and because he's
about average height.
Yeah, because he's common, because he's of a fairly common build. The muscle maybe not, but you definitely could get, some regular common clothes that would fit him. They might be a little tight, but they would fit and be functional.
It'll stretch with time.
It would basically so whoever buys that for him, go ahead and mark off 5 silver. And
I'll do it.
And we'll say that think about it this way, all of those when you get back and you give him the clothes and he puts them on, how in all of those sports magazines the really fit or big and thick jocks are got those really skin tight shirts on and you can almost see their abs and stuff in. That's Cardin right now.
He's doing that
And Katya is not making an attempt to look away from his companion as he is effectively squashing himself into these clothes.
Yep.
So Katya's just staring at Carden now? Is that what I just heard?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
More or less.
DM
we
said
know that?
abs, and Katya was like, abs. That one on perception.
Oh gosh. Nope. Don't notice anything.
Oh, for him
If-
looking.
Yeah.
Make a performance check. Are you trying to hide it, Katya?
When he notices that his companions are kind of glancing at him, he'll play it off like he was looking at something else.
Okay, performance.
21.
21.
Yeah, so Valinar, Carden, you guys don't really notice anything. Dinoc, you like notice that like he's like looking at. It looks like he's looking at Carden like very intensely for a moment, and then you watch him like bend down and pick something up from the ground and moves on like he wasn't even paying attention to Carden at all.
I merely raise an eyebrow, but shrug it off.
Is going to now do that firepower thing. You know that one arm at a time flex thing, like from Night at the Museum. Boom, boom, firepower.
All right. So
Does he rip the new clothes? They were nice on him.
you know what? Let me roll for that.
Oh boy.
Now we have a constitution check for the roll for the clothes, everybody.
Okay. The clothes do not just instantly rip, but you guys do kind of hear some of the clothes and it's threading, like the threads beginning to like snap. Like you would when you're stretching out like new clothes, you can hear the snapping of the strings being pulled apart. You kind of hear that as he's kind of doing that kind of flexing kind of a motion.
I like. Did I say that out loud? Oh. I like sunny days. Beautiful weather we got today.
You just see Dinoc look at you with a raised eye ridge, and he's like, "Uh-huh." And I'm going to
I mean, he's not being like he's. I mean, it's kind of
There
hard
we
to
go.
tell sometimes. Ooh.
I totally love sunny days. With that nat 20.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, he seems to be being completely honest, truthful about what he's saying.
I absolutely love sunny days.
So, all right. As you guys are kind of talking and stuff like that, Otta kind of appears behind you, Valinar, and kind of like pulls on your chainmail a little bit.
Yes.
Or I don't even remember what voice I did for him now. Oh well. He's like, "Are we going to be leaving soon? It's almost midday at this point."
We probably should.
I would think so. It's just where are we heading next?
Well, map.
Yes, that's a good idea. Map. Katya reaches into his robe and produces the map. Okay, so somebody tell me which is the closest city to here.
You have 2 cities that are both 2 days apart.
Tolis and Deja?
Yep.
Whichever one isn't going to involve us having to backtrack to the other one on the way to the last city.
One of them is exactly in the center. Neither one is going to really put us back, I don't think.
Nope. Not really.
So which one sounds more fun? Tolis Tolis or Deja, which also has the parallel woods.
Let's go to Deja. That sounds fun.
I like the name Tullus. Sounds, I don't know, enlightened?
Maybe we should ask.
Ada?
Oh, that's horrible. Sorry guys, out of game. What is the name of the leader of the town? I don't remember.
Peleg?
Huntsman Peleg?
Yes. Thank you. It's been a week, my guys.
It's been 2.
Yeah. Maybe we should ask Peleg if he has some recommendation on which one would be better.
Yeah. I'm cool with that idea.
I have a feeling if we ask him which will be better, he'll say Dagbar.
Dagbar, go get a different messenger. Or something stupid like that.
I mean, it's either that or we just blindly guess. Maybe.
Anyone got coin?
Ada, have you been to all of the cities around here?
Once or twice, yeah.
Which would you prefer?
I'd prefer city of Deja. It's much smaller, cozier. Mostly a farming and fishing village. Some hunting, but Tolis is it's essentially the capital of this area.
Ooh.
I vote we save Tolis for last then.
No. We should definitely go to Tullus first. I'd like a bigger city. That way, I can have an opportunity to perhaps speak with someone who knows a little more about magic. That's not totally insane and smells like rotten.
Yes, but what would happen if we lose track of time while in the capital?
So it's probably more expensive to live in the capital.
Yeah, and we also don't make it to all the cities in time. So the capital is that much bigger.
I gotta say, the phrase "save the best for last" does kind of come to mind here.
Well, when you put it that way, at least that way, if we visit the other cities first and we do Tullus last, then once we're done with our mission, we have more time to. Okay, I see what you're saying.
We might actually have money to spend in the big city.
If we don't spend it on all the.
How do you know what
farmland
money
first.
is?
He has money. He has spent money.
I know.
He knows what money is. He just doesn't understand the value of it.
Mm-hmm.
he like.
I know. I'm just giving him shit.
It's like it's like a conversion factor. Like if somebody says like 100 euros or whatever, it's like saying that to like an American. Like to an American, they're just kind of like 100 euros. Okay, sure, because to them, if they're in that other country, a euro is like I don't know for sure, but it's like much less. I guess I'm actually thinking peso, not euro.
Yeah, you're thinking peso.
Yeah, because peso would be like $1 for American. 100 euro or something like that would be like $1. I think. I don't remember. It's been a while.
I don't know.
A euro
€1 is
a euro's worth a little more than $1 now, and The last time I looked, a peso, it was about 1,000 peso to $1.
Oh, there you go. It's not even $1 then. So like,
Or
Yeah.
€1, I think, is like 1.17,
Okay.
$1.17.
so it's it's like that. It's like he has a he basically has a bunch of he's basically in America. He's basically an American in like Mexico spending his pesos. He doesn't understand the conversion rate.
He doesn't
So-
have shiny coins.
Yeah, he basically it's like
No.
basically like if somebody says, "Yeah, you can do that, but it's going to cost you, 30 gold," and he goes, "Okay," hands over 30 gold. He doesn't really understand what that 30 gold could also do for him. Although he may have learned now that he tried to buy a great axe and it was very expensive.
I'm not sure what I'm thinking of.
Oh yeah,
Great
I
sword, my
also
bad.
I spent that on whiskey, I think, that I still have in my pack.
That too. Okay, so you guys are planning on heading to the city of Deja.
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 How do you spell that?
Deja.
Deja. Okay. Figures.
Deja. You want me to put it in chat for you?
No, it's just like deja vu, and I know how to spell that.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel
Why
like
do I feel
we've been
like
there
Deja
before.
is gonna look exactly like? Sorry.
that would be hilarious.
All right. So what's the plan for traveling then? Are you guys just going to go on foot? I will say
believe
that
we
you have not seen any horses in this town.
And I believe the last time we talked about the possibility of renting horses, it was too rich for all of us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, we're going
So sadly,
wild.
I guess we're gonna walk for the next couple of days.
Okay.
Onward.
Again.
We should
Alrighty.
run into more bandits to kill. What?
Alrighty. Then who is helming the journey?
Hey boy, what is it to help? What is it to help?
Well, it's aid.
Yeah.
Ed.
I will say because you guys have the messenger, who
Also,
any-
I have keen mind.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
okay. Okay. Well, that'll help you with knowing which way to go in terms of knowing which way north is.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Fantastic.
I did take the guidance cantrip.
Okay. Well, I will say right now, because you guys have Otta, whomever wants to make the survival check will do so at advantage just because Otta is there.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Good.
All right. Well, 22. That'll do fairly nicely. So with that, as you guys are traveling this first day into as you guys leave Baran. Sorry, I almost said the wrong city there. You guys spend a little bit of time of the first part of the day traveling through the forest. The forest has, its various sounds and ringing throughout it. Sorry.
Yay!
Anybody hear crickets?
Birdies.
Yep. So, sorry, I'm making sure that it's registering on all ends. Okay. So, you guys are traveling through the woods for a period of time. It does take a little while, and you guys kind of watch as Otta is not walking in a straight path. Like, he'll walk from, like, a tree on the right over to a tree on the left, and he'll kind of, like, observe some different parts of the tree that you guys aren't really familiar with. And occasionally you'll see him like pull out a or not a sketchbook, a notebook, and jot down a few notes, and he'll be continuing on. Carden with a 22 in survival. You also notice a few different tracks that kind of come wandering through this area. And the one that none of them are like too worrisome, because a lot of times you see like what effectively would be like a raccoon or maybe a couple of deer. But probably the most worrisome one that you found was this large bear print kind of in the ground, and you can see the way that it kind of walks. It almost walks in a path that you guys are following along for about 100 feet or so before kind of veering off to the right deeper into essentially the plains area. Got deep set essentially paw prints, indicating that the bear itself is very heavy and very large based off of the size of the print. But it also seems to have been not fresh, but not old either. If you had to guess, it probably was left in the last probably 3 or 4 hours. But as you guys kind of continue onward, eventually it becomes dark, or starts to get dark. Are you guys going to continue through the night or set up camp for the evening?
Camp.
Okay. You guys begin
It'll be
setting.
safer.
You guys begin to set up a camp, making a fire, and preparing for an evening's rest. Otta is kind of tired by the time evening comes. His portly little legs struggling to keep up for most of the journey, but he does well on his own. He kind of sits and kind of like looks at you guys. Doesn't say anything, but just kind of looks at you guys, almost appreciative. Kind of goes and lights a small fire, and it begins to burn and build up. What are you guys doing?
My feet hurt.
Well,
We probably should set a watch too.
I'll take first watch.
Cool, you do that. I'm going to take these nasty boots off and air out my feet.
Do I need to make a Constitution saving throw for this?
I don't know, Katya, does he? Now, above game, Rona, I know how bad your feet can smell. So is your character worse or better?
Well, I can imagine it ain't gonna be pretty. They have... I can't remember the last time Katya stopped to wash his feet.
To be fair, the most recent one of any of you that's had a bath has been Carden.
Yeah. So, it's probably not gonna be a pretty smell. He's been wearing those boots for probably the last week or two.
Well, let me ask you this, Denock. Are you standing downwind or upwind?
Oof.
Oh no.
I say you were downwind, but after that check, you run upwind, trying to avoid the smell and to keep down your lunch.
Oof. Well, I'm sorry, my feet can't smell pretty all the time.
you know, we did camp next to a river last night.
I was too tired from partying to even think about it.
I turn to. Oh, geez, I can't remember names tonight.
You know what? If it'll help, here, allow me to help you with this. And Katya uses minor illusion to try and mask the terrible smell of his feet.
I don't know if minor illusion creates a smell.
Yeah, I could have sworn it did.
Pretty sure it's only a
Oh no, I can't.
I'm pretty
Chris,
sure.
You're right.
I'm
I
pretty
was
sure it's
thinking
only
of,
an image, or you're probably thinking of Prestidigitation, and you don't have that spell
Yeah.
because I checked.
Or I think Druidcraft did that at some point.
Maybe, but you're not a druid, so.
No, I'm not. I am not a druid this time.
Okay. Well, do we have a watch order, or are we just gonna kind of go whoever decides to wake up the next person? All right, we'll go with that order then. Dina, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okie-dokie. Bloop. There we go.
Oof. Can't get past the smell of the feet, I guess.
3.
At least it's not a 1.
Close enough.
Okay. I'm gonna say kind of like there are a couple of times that you kind of like are almost daydreaming. Like, you know that feeling like where you're staring into nothing but your brain is like practically asleep?
Yeah.
You mean me nearly 24/7?
Sure. You essentially reach that state a couple of times before you're just like, nah, I can't do it anymore, and you go and wake up the next person. Probably not a full watch in, but you got most of it done. So who would you wake up?
I think you know. I start poking Cardin with Mage Hand.
Poor Carton.
I'm not taking both of the watches. I roll back over and go back to bed.
What?
I do it again.
He keeps poking you.
Over and try to grapple the mage.
I'm
Okay.
nowhere near you, dude.
Yeah, he's poking you with a mage hand.
I know.
That's 30 feet.
I'm trying to grapple the mage hand.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and make an athletics check.
Oh man.
Oh no.
A 9 will fail, we'll say, because I was giving it like an AC of 10. So you kind of like slam your hand on the ground, missing the mage hand. But you are awakened at this point now.
I'll just go ahead and take the watch.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check for me, Cardin. Okay. Okay.
Uh-oh. Did I just hear a die roll?
Yeah, you heard it from me too.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Pardon, as your watch passes, nothing seems to catch your attention, and before long your shift has concluded.
Go ahead and wake up the cleric.
Okay. You go and shake Valinar awake.
Is it that time already?
Yes, it's that time.
Yeah.
Valinar, go ahead and give me
How
a
do you
perception
feel?
check as well.
Ooh,
Hey,
Natural 20.
Woo-woo!
Okay.
there we go.
Now we're getting some rolls.
All right. You hear the forest around you, and eventually it goes quiet. After a
Like-
bit, not like a strange quiet, but like
Okay.
quiet in the sense that
Dead of night
the
quiet.
yeah, like the dead of night, the
Oh.
forest almost seemingly to go quiet, and then after a bit you hear as rain begins to fall.
So thunder and rain. Okay.
Are we sleeping on the ground outside?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. That'll be enough to wake Katya. Getting rained on.
So it begins to rain. Thunder and lightning still a ways off, but definitely audible.
Okay, yeah, it wakes me up.
Are you guys planning on going through all 4 cycles of a shift watch, or were you guys only wanting to do 3? Actually, I'm going to say because of how low D-Knock rolled earlier, you're going to have to do 4 if you want the... Either that or Valinar would have to pull an extra long shift because of D-Knock having a slightly shorter one.
I mean, the rain woke me up.
Well, I'm saying, like... I mean, you guys can roll over and go back to sleep if you so desire. It's
So
just
Carton's
raining.
already
It's not...
asleep.
It's not...
I'm gonna want shelter.
Yeah,
You guys don't really have anything.
Well, I'm gonna look.
under the trees.
I mean, you can go under some of the trees, yeah.
That's the best I can do.
Mm-hmm. You still get kind of wet as you guys kind of get up and move. You guys are still kind of getting wet as the trees aren't like the greatest thing for shelter, but they're better than being out in the open.
Mm-hmm.
Look over at Katya and I say, you know, this rain might actually help your feet.
Or it'll be worse when I put my boots back on with soaked feet.
Dry them off first.
Why is it gotta rain? I hate rain. Rain sucks. Wait. Rain! Hang on a minute.
Yeah, you know the water that falls from the sky.
Yeah, but where I'm from, I feel like we just haven't been getting a whole lot of rain at all in the past few years, but it's raining. Now I think about it, this is fantastic.
It's pouring.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get cold.
Carton is snoring.
So,
Ada kind of goes, well, we're all up. Maybe we should just continue on our way. And kind of like looks and kind of looks around. I don't even know when light would be coming up.
keep in mind,
Enoch would know this. Yep. Yeah. Basically, you got about 2.5 hours before sunrise.
You know, we may as well just all get up and go.
and also, can I hold Firebolt? Not cast it, but hold it.
Oh, like a light source?
Not just that, but also keep me a little warmer.
Sure.
I was
I'll
gonna
say you
say
can
for
do
a
that.
light source, I just have light.
Yeah, I know. But essentially, what you're doing is you're casting Firebolt and holding it, and you hold it for 12 seconds, and then you have to keep doing that. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, as long as you're gonna keep doing that, that's fine. Firebolt is a cantrip, so I don't think it has any. Oh, excuse me, material component cost.
Nope.
Nope.
Just vocal and somatic.
Yeah.
That vocal in this case, please keep me warm.
All right. So you guys begin to head onward. It is early in the morning. Most of you just barely getting a long rest. But it was a long rest nonetheless. So, with today's journey going. Let's see. Arden, you made the check last time, so I would like somebody else to make the survival check today with advantage, thanks to Ada's assistance.
Oh my
Actually,
God.
this would be just a straight roll. Oh, a natural 20.
That's a nat 20.
Yeah, sorry. I was saying, it would just be a straight roll because of the rain and stuff, making it fairly difficult, even after the sun comes up. It
But with a
seems to
nat
be
20, it doesn't matter.
it seems to be very difficult to see in places, but between you, Katya, and Ada aiding and Ada's assistance, you guys
And me making sure we know which way we're going.
right, yes, and Denock having the ability to just be like, hey, we're heading too far north. Eventually, as the day progresses on, it continues to rain and rain. Eventually, you guys are just walking through what seems to be a muddy swamp as your boots fall deep into the mud, just as you guys are walking through.
So much for good foot smell.
But throughout a good chunk of this, Valnar is using his shield like an umbrella.
Okay.
Why not?
I mean, right?
Ooh, question.
Yeah.
Would Mage Hand, block rain?
I mean, I would say yes, but it's still like a hand. It's not like a huge surface, but
It helps.
you would just have to continue to cast it every minute.
I'm gonna use minor illusion to create the image of like a piece of wood over my head. Even though I know it's not going to stop any rain, wishful thinking.
Okay. There's essentially
Hold my shield
a
over my head.
okay. There's essentially a
Umbrella.
cask lid floating over Katya's head, but you still get rained on, Katya.
But it makes me feel better. At least I tried.
But by the end of the day, you guys can actually begin to make out the lights, what looks to be fire in the distance from different buildings, almost, as you guys are on the very edge of the city of Deja. And Ada is kind of like, we're almost there.
Hopefully they have a inn with a warm fire.
Wait, is
Or
that?
maybe just an inn.
Are you sure that's Deja? That looks like Dagbar to me.
It's not a very large town as you guys begin to get closer and closer. It's comparable to in size of that of Bahran. It's slightly smaller than smaller than Dagbor, but it seems to be a little bit bigger than Bahran. As you guys get closer and closer, you can see that that this city also is located on the edge of a river, and you can see as you are approaching fields that have various different crops growing at the moment, and all in different rows. You don't see anybody, out gathering, as it has been raining all day, and it is currently probably close to 5-6 o'clock at night. There is a small wooden fence about 5 feet high that is surrounding the city, at least from what you can tell. And along the fence, they even have, what is it called? A trebuchet, I think? Where it's got the sharpened logs kind of set at an angle, forming a kind of a barricade thing, like where if you were to run a horse into it, it would pierce the horse in a sense. I think it's called a trebuchet, but I could be wrong. Anyway,
Who are we missing? Because we're getting garbling from someone.
that
Blind?
might have been Blind trying to be quiet with his mic.
I was trying to
think
be
it's-
quiet.
I think he was trying to describe something about the trebuchet, but was like.
Yeah, a trebuchet is a like a catapult, like a giant catapult.
That's not what it is.
You walk up and there's trebuchets. Oh, who's getting sieged today?
Yeah.
No, you're just saying like a caltrop or barricade type of deal.
Kind of. What I'm thinking of is it looks something like this, and then you have the wooden plank here that kind of makes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it looks kind of like that. That's a very poor drawing, but
Yeah,
something-
I'm
it's
kind
something
of glad
like
that
that.
you. I'm kind of glad that you.
didn't major in art.
Well, I was gonna say I'm kind of glad that you drew the other lines in there because it looked like you just drew a dick on my screen.
Oh, okay, that's an interesting one.
All right.
Shit.
Anyway,
Well, I don't know what's on his
Wrong
mind.
name, Chris. Sorry, I was looking that up to see if I could find a name for it.
okay. Either way, you see some of those kind of
It's a barricade.
lining the city wall, kind of in front of it. And as you guys kind of get to the front gates of the city, you can see a couple of guards who kind of have like their hoods up, trying to protect themselves from the rain. You see a couple of individuals. These two individuals seem to be carrying like bows for the most part. And as they kind of see you guys approaching, they kind of... Yeah, that's a really good roll. They actually notice Otta first, who's significantly different than the rest of you. And they're kind of like... And they
Normal
kind of...
compared to us.
And they kind of understand what it means for Otta to be out this way. They kind of, oh, you guys will... The one, oh, you'll want to hurry up into the city. And kind of begins to open the gate, and the other one goes, Otta, you know the way to the inn, right? And he's like, yeah. Begins heading in.
Oh, thank God, there's an inn.
He kind of... Otta begins to lead the way into the gate. What were you going to say?
As Katya passes by the guards at the gate, and he sees the hood that they're wearing, he is going to ask, "Where did you get one of those, and where can I get one of the same? Because I would like to have some protection from the rain the next time."
The one guard kind of looks at you and kind of looks to what he's looking at. He goes, "It's just a cloak. You can buy them anywhere."
Thank you. I'll consider that.
He kind of like looks at you and just kind of steps back and begins closing the gate as you guys enter. Otta leads you guys through the city. It's not a whole bunch of people. There's practically nobody out in this weather at the moment. And you guys begin heading towards, you assume, the inn. Eventually he stops in front of a building and kind of opens the door, allowing you guys to escape the rain outside.
Oh, thank the gods.
Hallelujah.
And eventually merging into a tavern. Storm still going on outside in the background.
Like, shove off my hair.
I'm just dripping water all over the floor, putting leaving muddy tracks. Ugh.
You guys kind of like enter this soggy, wet mess. And you kind of, you see a, kind of behind the bar, you see a female half-elf. Fairly young, very vibrant in skin and beautiful, but looks very stern in the eyes, and she kind of turns and looks to you guys, and she kind of, welcome, travelers, and glad you could get out of the rain. Ada? And Ada kind of like is like wiping the water off of his face, and he kind of like looks up and he goes, like stops for a moment and goes, Rita? And she begins to laugh, and she goes, "What happened to your hair?" Begins to laugh, and Otto's like, "Oh no." And he actually basically walks away from you guys. As he goes and sits down at the bar and begins small talk with the bartender, who you now know is Brita.
Brita. Excuse me, Miss Brita.
She's
I don't suppose
like
you have
laughing and yes.
I don't suppose you have a wash tub that I can borrow to clean my clothes in. We've been traveling for a ways, and I can't remember the last time I had a bath.
Well, we don't have any for common use, but if you'd like to rent a room, there's one that you're welcome to use.
Oh yes, gladly. I could use a bath myself.
Excellent. Are you after
I'm sure my.
a room for the night will be it'll be 5 silver per room. Unfortunately, I do only have, and she like opens a book and begins flipping a few pages, and she looks through. Yeah, I have 3 rooms available at the moment, unfortunately.
Uh-oh. 3 rooms and 5 of us. Okay. I should have a room to myself, because I don't want to have to share. And I'll hand over 5 silver.
She kind of takes it and kind of sets a key down for you, and just kind of like, well, I mean, like I said, I only have the 5, but if you guys are willing to share, I mean, it won't cost one person at least a full, or 2 people a full 5 silver.
Yes,
You
thank
mean
you.
3. You said 5.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You said 5
5.
that last time.
Yeah, 5 silver.
No, you said
No,
5.
you said 5 rooms.
No. I said it wouldn't cost a couple of people a full 5 because they'd be paying half.
No. You said you had 5 rooms left.
Mm-hmm.
We all heard it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recall saying
we
that,
got-
but I
we got 3
believe
rooms.
you. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Now we have 2 rooms for the other 4 to split up. I'm going to go and clean myself and my clothes.
Okay.
And Katya is going to take the key and immediately head off.
Okay. Otto would be like, if you don't mind sharing a room with me, and he kind of gestures to you, Valinar.
Sure.
Okay. You just see Denox's black scales kind of turn a little bit gray. Wait, what? Wait. And he slowly turns his head to Cardin. Oh no. Yeah.
Unless Cardin wants to share him with Katia, just break into his room and he's good.
That would be interesting.
That would be fantastic. We should do it.
You're not there.
I know that's above game. Totally do that. I've got a reaction ready for you.
Oh God.
Okay.
Cardin is sort of like, well, I guess I can take a table. the
She's
Dragon
kind of
Ball
like,
doesn't-
I'd prefer not if people were sleeping in the tavern itself. That's, a little unsanitary, she says, kind of like looking you up and down.
Fair
take the room with the dragonborn too.
Excellent.
Now.
I assume you guys pay, and Valinar, Otta does pay his half of the room.
Okay, so how much is that for me to? What is
Be
that, 2.5?
yeah, it'd be two silver and 5 copper.
Okay.
So you guys are able to do that, and she gives you the keys for the rooms, and thank you very much for the business, and well, with that, we are full for the evening. Well, I guess it's late. Are you guys after any drinks or food at this point? I know it's late, but I still got some things out.
Food would probably be good.
Food, okay. Are you?
Sorry. Thinking myself. Sorry.
Are you looking for anything special, or just something kind of simple and easy?
Oh, just simple. At least for me.
Simple, okay.
Simple sounds good.
Okay, that'll be
Simple and warm would be best.
of course it'll be warm. Call it 3 silver apiece.
Sounds good.
Okay. She kind of takes the money and puts it into the essentially the safe behind the counter, and she disappears into the kitchen for a little while. And she, she's gone for a little while, leaving Cardin, Valinar, Dinok, and Ada in the tavern area. Again, the atmosphere is warm and lit. There seems to be some music coming from somewhere. You're not able to identify where at the moment. There's a few people in here drinking, a couple people even playing cards and stuff like that. And all the while, you can hear the storm raging on and outside. I believe you guys can hear it anyway.
Yeah, we do hear
The lightning and stuff in the background.
the. Yep, it just went.
Yeah, perfect, because that's what I was hoping it would do, and I wasn't sure if it would.
Yep, it's working perfectly.
Excellent. So, is there anything you guys would like to do in this free time that you...
I'm taking a bath.
Yep, you get clean.
Fantastic.
This
That was
is-
what I was going
Actually, that's actually an interesting thing. I need to look at something.
for. Oh no.
Oh boy.
You're gonna make me roll to take a bath.
You,
that's dirty.
you forget, you are effectively, in a sense, quote-unquote, royalty. So,
Mhm.
how often do you wash yourself?
Ooh.
I would assume living on my own for at least the last couple of years, I would have figured out how to bathe myself by now.
Maybe. Just for the lulz, let's just go ahead and make it a general dexterity check.
Oh Jesus!
Oh boy.
Here we go. That is an 8.
I
It's
will
hard to
say,
get around these man parts.
I will say, I will say that you focus primarily on getting rid of the mud, and you do so. You get rid of all of the mud, but forget to maintain the hair.
Well, fair enough.
Like, you wash it in a sense of like running water through it and stuff, but you just kind of like dump the bucket on your head. You don't do a whole lot more with it.
Fair enough.
All right. What about the rest of you? You guys gonna do anything in the meantime?
Also going to try and find a bathhouse or bath somewhere because it was muddy.
So what they have is each room has its own essentially hot water and bucket system, kind of like you would see at a like a Japanese bathhouse essentially, except not the bath part. It's just like the kind of shower that you perform for yourself. Except it's not like a shower. You literally have a bucket of water and then like what is the equivalent of soap.
Go to I'm trying to find my room and do that.
Okay, you
And
managed
that's
to
no
do
lie.
so. You managed to do so.
All I do is just take a warm cloth and just wipe down my scales.
Yeah.
I'm
So
clicking-
Carden, you're in the same room as me. So, are we doing this at the same time?
Probably in separate rooms, I would think. Well, while everybody else is eating, because Cardin's not that hungry for once.
I can't hear you, dude. You're cracking up again.
Cardin's not that hungry for once, so he'll just do it while everybody else is.
That,
Okay. Then never
Okay.
mind.
Yeah. Yep. So Carden disappears for a while as well. Valinar and Dinok and Otta are left in the tavern. Otta eventually grabs a drink and kind of sips on it for a while.
So, what can you tell us about the leader of this city?
Well, excuse me, I had to burp. You kind of, there isn't a, single leader of, the city. There is actually a council, here.
At this, Dinok just lets his head fall onto the table with a resounding thunk, and you just hear him mutter, "Damn it."
What? Not a fan of politics?
His head raises up and looks you in the eye, sorry, Valinar. The wrong person. And he says, "I had problems with the ruling council of Hafen, of my home.
Well, maybe this one will be better.
doubt it.
Yeah.
Oh, it can't be any worse than my leader.
No.
Hmm?
What's with your leader?"
Well, I guess more the leader of the temple I was raised in. She was a bit of a character.
One of those.
I say character. I'm trying to
You mean
not
bitch.
be in it. Yes.
As are most people of the cloth I've found.
Hmm.
Strangely, I found two exceptions. You and the father of the orphanage back in our first city.
Yeah, there are a lot more. Well, there are a lot more good priests than you might realize. Yes, there are some pieces of shit, but
Every single temple I went to refused to heal my wife. And I went to 37 different temples, and each one of them refused.
why would they refuse to heal? Valinor is now just confused as to why any temple would refuse to heal anyone.
I do not know specifics, but I believe she was cursed. And with the temples refusing to heal her, I wonder, was it a curse from the gods? And that's why they refused to heal her.
Curse from the gods. Could be a very, very strong curse from a demon. Or, I don't know, maybe there was just something they didn't like about your wife. Not trying to be offensive or anything, but...
At this, Deanoch actually leans back and tilts his head up in thought. Well, there was that one paladin in the gladiatorial arena. She soundly trounced.
Yeah, that could do it. Politics can play a huge part in the church, which is... So if that paladin held any power or authority, then there's that possibility.
There were rumors that the paladin was actually the blessed chosen. I didn't pay too much attention to his title, but some kind of important character to one of the gods. It's been a few years since I don't remember which god it was.
Well, I'll say this. The more pompous the title, the bigger of a dick he probably is.
I don't doubt that. Anyways, we got off topic. The council. What should we know about them?
Well, the Eldermen here, as they're called, the council, there's not a whole lot to really tell. They've been around for a long time, so they kind of know what they're doing.
So we're dealing with a bunch of experts in their field?
Yeah, you could say that. There's Norik Shell. He's the youngest on the council, and he's been on the council for about 120 years now.
Goodness, what race are we talking about?
Oh, he's a turtle.
Okay, hold on.
Not at all what I was expecting.
Really? The last name is Shell.
Yeah, would that be history to know what a turtle is? Or would that be intelligence?
I'm gonna say that's probably nature.
Good thing it's...
All right. So you would both know that a turtle it's a humanoid turtle, an intelligent race of species of turtle people. They're essentially akin to Triton individuals. But they have a very long lifespan, as turtles themselves do. And so that you guys have the spelling. There's... He's a turtle.
The last name is Shell.
Yeah! I thought I'd make it obvious, but apparently not.
At about this moment,
Above game, all of my past campaigns would always name stuff contradicting.
Fair enough.
So...
It's also about this time that your food is presented to you guys, as you guys are kind of beginning to talk. It is a very simple meal. It's actually essentially a porridge of some kind. Almost, it looks to be almost like potato soup, but it's got a more creamy substance to it.
oh my.
And it's also about this time that you
Is there
would be
any
coming
bread?
downstairs, Katya.
Exactly.
I'm sorry?
Is there any bread to go with it?
There is. There is essentially like a small portion of a loaf of the loafed bread, like you would get
Yeah.
from Panera, kind of. Not exactly like that. It's better, but it's cut like that.
So Katya walks into the tavern area wearing just common clothes, not his robes, because they're up to dry. And he sits down at the table with everybody else. But he seems, I guess, glum in a way. He sits down, doesn't make any eye contact, but he does look at the food.
What's eating you?
Eating? Nothing's eating me. At least, I don't think so. I swear I just cleaned everything off.
What's the matter, I mean?
Oh. Nothing I wish to discuss. It's a personal nature. Could be I'm just hungry.
My only question will be then, will it affect us in any way?
Not unless I try to cast a spell at this moment.
Understood.
You know, that food looks delicious. Where can I get some? Oh. Yeah, how about I just go... Yeah, I'll just go ask the bartender.
You
Katya
then
gets back
cast
up.
Fireball.
You get up and begin walking to the.
5th level, at my feet. Nah.
You get up and begin walking towards the counter, and as you do so, Ada continues and says, the others are also individuals of for the lack of a better term, old age. You have Keljan Short, who's been on the council for about, what was it now, 150, 145 years? And then the eldest of the three eldermen, Varen Olders. He's an elven man. Oh god, I think his age is nearing that of 300, being on the council now for about 275 years, if memory serves.
I was there when they built this town!
No, you guys have been at these cities have been around for a couple thousands of years.
Ah.
And this last one, is he a gnome by any chance?
Keljan? Yeah, he is actually a gnome. So, we have
Noric Shell, a turtle.
Keljan Short.
The gnome. It's
Yep.
short. Fantastic.
And Baron Oldress. Sorry. I said that wrong earlier. It's Oldress.
The elven.
Yep, the elven man.
Half elf or full elf or unknown?
I believe he's full elf.
Dinok kind of shifts himself slightly and is once again looking a little off in the distance, kind of. There weren't many elves back home. I think we only had like one distinguishable family. but I never really interacted with elves or half elves.
Well, elves in
fucking
these parts
strange.
tend to live for a long time. Fairly a pride. Yeah, they're very proud. Probably just as proud as a dwarf. If you were to compare them. Yeah. They don't like losing.
So, make no bets with them.
Well, if you know how to win, you can make it look like they might win. That's a different story, he says with a chuckle.
At this time, Enoch's actually finishing up the porridge and bread,
Mm-hmm.
and stands up and says, "Well, I'm going to try and get at least some mud on the scales.
Mm-hmm.
If you will excuse me, I will see you in the morning."
Yeah, and it's about this time, Cardin, if you so desired, that you would be coming downstairs, but I don't know what you're wanting to do.
Oh, like he'll be like sorely trancing down the stairs.
Okay. So you and Denock would probably pass each other on your guys' way up and down the stairs.
Yep.
Okay.
Continue down the stairs.
Is there any other information that you desire? Valinar, was it?
Is my food ready yet?
Yeah, about this point in time, you would be served essentially the same thing. Essentially potato soup and a small piece of bread.
Cool.
Mark
I'll
off
come-
three silver for it.
Gotcha. And then I'll carry my food over and sit down at the table with Valinar and Alda.
Okay. At that point in time, he'd be like, any other information that you desire, Valinar, was it?
I don't believe so. I believe that I can get most of what I need to know about a person once I talk to them.
Often that is the way.
Well, I would like to know, who's the leader of the
Wait.
city?
Damn it, blind!
That wasn't blind. That was just that was Rona.
Yup.
Well, there is no one leader of the city. There is a council.
And here we go.
Council.
Yes.
Katya missed the whole conversation.
Yes.
For
For the sake for the sake of expediency, Otto will give you the shorthand notes, which basically is the names of the individuals, the length
Okay.
that they've been on the council,
Okay.
and what race they are.
Alright. I can write it all down, officially.
Yeah. So you have Norik Shell, Tortle, 100 and... What did I say, 120? I got it written down here, yeah, 120. Keldrin Short, Gnome, 150. Varan,
And 275.
Yep.
Let me start writing.
As you guys get ready for the I'll say, I guess if there's nothing else that you guys are wanting to do, I'll say that for the purposes of this, you guys are able to eat and drink and then go to bed. There's nothing else that you guys would want to do this evening?
I don't think so.
Okay. Then I will say that you guys are able to eat and drink until you decide to go to bed. And at which point, we'll go ahead and take a break, because it is about 10:30.
Perfect.
Great.
So,
Ice cream.
yes. Okay. So, we're gonna take a real quick break here. We'll be back in probably, I don't know, like 5-10 minutes. So if you guys need to get up, get some snacks, get drinks, use the bathroom, that kind of a thing, now's the time to do it. And I'm gonna go ahead and kind of look through the chat here now that I have a moment. As the morning comes, the sky begins to brighten. The rain has stopped at this point. And
Am I walking in the middle of something?
What?
Are we back from break? I kind of just got back.
Oh, dude, I'm totally sorry. I thought everybody said they were back and stuff. That is my fault. Let me
literally just
restart.
came back from a bathroom break.
All right, later, Arctic. All right. Do we have everybody else then?
I'm here.
Hello.
Hi.
Rona, we got you now.
I am here.
Okay. Good. Okay. Okay, so you guys are currently in the city of Dagbor. Nope, Deja. I'm terribly sorry.
One of those days, huh, dude?
Yep.
We wake up in Dagbor. Wait, how do we get back here?
Okay, you joke, but that is I have legitimately thought about running this campaign for a while, like Groundhog's Day.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
It crossed my mind for a moment, and honestly, so real quick before we get back into all of this, I don't know if you guys remember or not, but do you guys remember how I told you at the beginning of all of this, depending on what direction you chose, on day one, it could have caused this campaign to become a one-session campaign?
Really?
If that was gonna happen, I actually had the backup plan of running the game like Groundhog's Day.
Oh my.
Yep. And it would have added a whole new layer twist to the campaign. So for those of you who don't know what Groundhog's Day are, grow up a little bit and stop being a freaking... No, I'm kidding.
If you want a really fun explanation of it, watch the Groundhog's Day episode of Supernatural.
Yeah, pretty much. That's a great way of putting it. That's actually exactly what would happen to you guys. Except you guys wouldn't be like dying from random events. It would be like more like random encounters. So essentially you guys with Groundhog's Day, they would just keep whenever they would die, they would just wake up at the beginning of that day again. And they would just keep doing the day over and over and over again until they got it right.
And not died.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, nobody's died yet, so technically, who's to say that isn't still about to happen?
There's been some close calls.
Yeah.
Garden.
You wake up in a cave. Oh, man!
All right. So now that we have everybody, let's go ahead and jump back into it. So you guys wake up the next morning. Some of you sharing a room, others not. The rain has stopped outside at this point, as it is fairly early morning. But you guys can hear. You guys don't actually hear a whole lot of noise at the moment, as it is early morning, and most people who are coming and going from the tavern tend to be individuals who are staying here as well and are currently just on their way out.
When he wakes up, Cardin is going to meditate on his anger.
Oh, okay, interesting.
All right.
So, Deanoch, when you wake up, Cardin is kind of sitting in a meditative position, currently just breathing, you think?
His eyes are probably like half closed too.
Also, Valinar, when you wake up, Ada is already kind of up and ready to go.
Cool. Just gonna get ready to head out.
Okay. He kind of follows you downstairs and orders breakfast from Brita, as she is at the desk again this morning, seemingly very awake and positive for the day. And
One of those people.
well, more like she's an elf. Remember? Well, kind of an elf. Did I say she was half elf, I believe?
Half elf.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, half elf. So they kind of
I
have
know.
to be.
So I'm going to literally stumble down the stairs. Will it be just dex? Will it be dexterity
you-
saving throw, or
Are you trying to not fall, or are you trying to like pretend fall?
I'm trying to not fall over?
Let's just do regular dex.
Because I'm trying to wake up.
Oh no.
My dice don't like me tonight.
4.
That is a 4.
So, well, you're not awake at the top of the stairs, but by the time you get to the bottom of the stairs, you sure are. You guys hear thud, 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 thud. And you look over as your dragonborn companion is face first on the floor, kind of dog style, ass over head at the moment.
He got mauled.
Boo! Boo!
By the stairs.
How many points of damage is that?
Just pride damage.
Okay.
You take
Pride
eight
often
pride
comes
damage.
before the pride often comes before the fall.
And rarely is it thereafter.
So Enoch stumbles back to his feet
Picks himself up off the floor.
and
You
teeters
guys
over to
do
the bar.
see Ada kind of stifle a smile, or a giggle, or whatever you want to call it, a laugh, kind of.
And he just plants his chin on whatever surface is in front of him. Oh.
Eventually.
Cardin is humming his morning song.
Oh yeah, how's it go? Okay.
Right.
All right. Eventually, you guys are served breakfast and drinks of whatever you desire. Breakfast is going to run about 3 silver as well. However, you guys, that does include drinks. As long as it's not like an ale or some kind of alcoholic beverage. So it includes essentially drinks of water, but they also have other kind of from some of you strange, especially Cardin, some strange a few strange drinks. It seems to be the blood of fruits you gather. As when she offers essentially apple or orange juice, you don't understand the concept at first, and so she tells you that they squeeze the juice out of the apple or the orange in order to make a drink. At times, depending on the quality of the fruit, they may add a little bit of sugar to it to sweeten it. But you gather that essentially what they are doing is they are squeezing a fruit until it bleeds and then drinking the blood of the fruit, making fruit juice
All
of
right.
some kind.
Best description ever.
I mean, it's the best one that Cardin would understand.
Yeah.
All Cardin basically knows is water, coffee, and alcohol. So,
And even
Valinor will
even
order apples.
and even coffee would be a rarity for you to know.
Yeah.
Like, in all honesty, you would probably get that like 4 times a year whenever you would visit a larger city.
yeah, or like it would be like a sometime when we had like a party or a festival or something like that, probably.
Maybe if you guys had managed to
Find some,
yeah.
but yeah, it'd be a rarity.
Yep, a rarity. Yeah, you guys are served breakfast. Coffee is provided for those of you who so desire it. And as you guys finish up breakfast, Ada is kind of like, well, I suppose we need to, at the very least, go and set a meeting with the Eldermen. Hopefully we'll be able to see them soon. Would you like me to take care of the meeting arrangements and allow you guys time to, explore the city? And I'd sense for you.
How much coffee has Denock drank?
Make a constitution check.
Plucky. Damn.
Off 20. Enough to be awake.
Okay. So Denock clears her throat. I believe at least one of us should be there, in case the leaders have any questions for our group. Or whoever we talk to get the meeting planned.
Okay, well, who would like to accompany? And he kind of like looks at you directly, Valinar, and like doesn't even really look at the others, but just kind of like looks at you.
Am I like the only person he trusts?
Yeah, we've established this already.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
It's been 2 weeks, I understand, but
I guess I can. But I'll point out I'm not exactly a good talker.
he's kind of like, don't worry about it. Should more or less just be a formality kind of a thing.
Cool. I'll go.
Okay, so you guys go and do that, and I'll break it up here into 2 groups here. So we're gonna do the smaller one first. So, Valinar, you and Ada essentially travel to what is the equivalent of the town hall here. A sizable building, and you guys kind of enter, and at the front there is a young elven woman sitting at the desk, kind of filing some paperwork. As you guys approach, she kind of, yes, can I help you? Ada kind of goes, yes, we're here from the city of Dagbor. We're here to request an audience with the Eldermen. She kind of like looks down at you guys, or looks down at Ada, and then kind of at you, Valinar, and kind of goes, do you guys have the proper paperwork? And Ada goes, of course. I forget who had the writs.
That was I think that was Kadia.
I think it was. Would you? Kadia, make an intelligence check for me.
Kadia is still in his room.
Oh, you haven't gotten up. Okay.
Nope. Never even left the room.
Fair enough.
I guess nobody noticed it.
I didn't
Fair.
pick up on it either.
Nope.
So like she asked for the proper paperwork, and Ada kind of like looks to you, Valinar, and
Shoot.
Otto goes,
Why who never showed up to breakfast has it?
oh. Well, he kind of like looks up kind of nervously, and at this point, you can see that the elf is kind of annoyed, but like not in a threatening way. He kind of like looks at you guys and just, well,
We'll be back.
Otto's kind of like, yeah, we left it in our other clothes, and kind of like turns and just walks away.
Oh dear.
Meanwhile, everybody but Katya, what are you guys doing? So Dinok and Cardin.
We're
you
just
guys-
standing there looking intimidating.
Are you guys wanting to explore the town at all?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything specific that you are going to look for?
I want to look for magic.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
$22.
Nice.
Okay. You do find a magic shop, actually.
Oh.
I apparently did not give this place a name, so we're gonna go with Cauldron? Huh?
Rusty Cauldron?
No. We're
That's
gonna
funny
go.
because I was thinking the leaky cauldron.
No, we're gonna go with, you find the magic shop. And it's called the Wild Ferns.
Woo!
Where they grow? Subtitle question mark.
Ha. 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 You think you're funny?
I know I am.
Guys, I think blind's delusional.
All right. You walk in and you actually see a kind of a middle-aged female gnome kind of sitting behind the counter, and she kind of looks over and goes, "Yes, can I help you?"
Yes, I'm new in town and was wondering what you have available.
She kind of like pushes some of this kind of blonde hair kind of back, kind of behind her ear, kind of to kind of get it out of her face, and she kind of, well, I'm sure we have lots of things. Is there anything specific that you're looking for?
Spell tomes mostly.
Tomes? We have some scrolls.
I suppose those will do.
Okay, is there any particular spell that you're looking for? And I might be able to see if we have it. Otherwise, you may have to just try your luck.
I suppose I'll just peruse your selection.
Okay, over there, she points to a bin behind you, and it's like a large barrel, and it just has what looks to be like dozens of of different scrolls.
Mm-hmm.
And you just reach in and
I asked her, what would be a general pricing for one of these? Or
see.
is it more depending on what I pull?
It depends on what you pull. Spares of various levels have different costs.
I figured. I was wondering if this was a barrel full of lesser spells that all cost.
No, they're just what I have a plethora of.
I see. Thank you. And I go to start looking through the scrolls.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a d6.
3.
Okay. Okay. So, the first scroll that you pull out, as you kind of pick it up and kind of unfurl it and begin kind of looking over it. This spell is absorb elements.
Ooh.
Fancy.
Absorb elements is a first level spell. The details of the spell, because it's not an actual spell scroll. Essentially, it is a descriptor of the spell, and you have to take, because that prevents people from just coming in here and reading the spell off and casting the spell within the shop.
Yeah.
Essentially, what this is it reads that it's from the School of Abjuration. It has a range of self. It only requires somatic components, but it can be cast almost reactionary. It's a fairly short duration, and it typically deals. Let's see. Okay, so it's kind of like So I'll just read the spell's description for you. So the spell captures some of the incoming energy, lessening its effect on you and storing it in your next melee attack. You have resistance to the triggering damage type until the start of your next turn. Also, the next time you hit with a melee attack on your next turn, the target takes an extra 1d6 damage of the triggering type. And the spell ends. So essentially, what happens is whenever you cast this as a reaction, you gain resistance to that damage type. Essentially, so if it's a fireball, you become resistant to fire damage, and you are able to absorb some of that spell's power. And then if you were to hit on a melee attack on your next turn, you also deal a d6 fire damage.
That's cool.
And you said that was the first one I got?
Yep, that was the first one that you pulled up, and that was that is a first level spell.
I set it to the side and look for 2 more scrolls just to have a selection to choose from.
Okay, go ahead and roll me another d6.
Second first, same as the first.
Okay. 1 second here. Two. This one you actually pull out the spell Shillelagh.
Excuse you.
What? Huh? It's the spell.
I know. I can't afford the spell scroll anyways.
You want to spell that, please?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and type
Starts
it in
with
chat
an S.
here. I'll type it in chat here. Hold on, maybe. There we go. Shillelagh.
I'll just look it up on Beyond.
It's a cantrip. Essentially, you touch an item, a wooden club or quarterstaff, and you imbue it with power. It essentially causes that regular weapon to become a magical weapon for the purposes of damage. Yep.
I'll put it back.
It also allows you to use your spellcasting ability modifier instead of strength for the attack and damage rolls for that melee weapon.
I don't have a club or quarterstaff, so I'll just put it back.
Yep. Unfortunately, it's also not something that you could add to your spell book, as it's from the druid table.
Mm-hmm.
So for the last one, go ahead and roll another d6.
Hey, 6.
6. Hey. Okay, yeah, this one's funny. You actually grab Featherfall.
Ah!
Nice.
I don't think. Okay.
Do you want to do anything with those?
Yeah, I'll actually take both up to the shopkeeping and ask her, how much are these separate?
Give me 1 second here. I actually have to find the cost. I have an idea of what they are. But I don't. Oh. That's what I. Okay, we're just gonna go with what did I have in my head because I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember what it was now. So, let's see. You have what spells? Featherfall and
Absorb elements.
Featherfall and Absorb elements. Both are first level spells. So each spell, she kind of looks at them and kind of goes, each of these are first level spells. So each of them will run you about 100 gold pieces apiece.
A bit more expensive than I thought. I will keep that in mind, and I go and put them back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, spell scrolls are very expensive for the fact that anybody can use them. And it takes time to create a spell scroll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then I'll just
Is there anything else you'd like to look at while you're here?
I know to increase my spell repertoire, I need, what is it, 50 gold worth of ink and parchment?
Yes, that's what you need in order to essentially transcribe a spell onto your spell book. And then essentially that's per spell. Unless it's one of your school spells. Because then and then it would be half.
I'm only gonna buy about 10 gold worth.
Okay. You are able to do so.
And Carden, you're with me, right? I turn and ask you, well, where do you want to go? We did what I wanted.
Well, do we think there's like a
Blacksmith?
yeah.
There is a blacksmith. If you want to roll an investigation check to find it.
And I will help him.
Okay, so Carden, go ahead and make an investigation check with advantage.
Oh no!
Zero one matter.
Wow.
5 both.
Good job. That's a 5 both ways.
That's real talent.
You guys spend some time looking for the blacksmith. And while you're looking for that, Valinar, you arrive back at the inn, which at this point in time, as you are now walking up to the inn, you catch the name of the inn, as you did not see it the night before, as it was very dark and raining. But the name of the inn is called Half Pint.
Nice.
You arrive back at the inn. What would you like to do?
So are we back to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, back to you, Valinar.
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed that.
My bad.
Well, go wake up Kadia to get the papers
Yep.
if he's not already awake.
Are you
Still
awake?
up in my room. Yep.
Are you still in your room?
I'm in my room, sitting on the edge of the bed.
So what time is it right now?
At this
By the
point
way.
in time, it's probably 10 a.m.
Hey, Kadia, are you still in the room?
Go away.
Well, you see, I kind of need those writs in order to set a meeting.
Oh, yeah, those. Oh, we had a meeting today.
Well, I don't know if it'll be today. I'm kind of going to ask Ada if he's right there about how long it'll take to get a meeting.
He kind of shrugs, doesn't know.
Okay. May or may
Yeah,
not be today.
Let me pass those writs over to Ada. And Katya's gonna get them out of his bag, open the door just enough to be able to slide the scrolls out, hand them to Valinar to pass off, and then close the door again.
Okay.
What is going on with you? Valnar hands him over to Ada.
Okay, Autumn kind of takes them and puts them in his, essentially his pouch.
Hey. Katya opens the door and says, "Come in. This may take a little bit of time."
Okay. Valnar's gonna go in.
What about...
I don't know if
Huh?
I don't know. Valnar
You,
kind
you,
of
op-
looks.
you open
Ada.
the door and kind of walk in, and Autumn kind of stands there awkwardly. Like,
And Katya sits back down on the bed and just starts talking.
Valnar just kind
I-
of shrugs to Ada.
Autumn kind of like
Um,
slowly moves into the room and kind of closes the door, and then like kind of sits on the floor.
Last night, I was reminded of a big mistake that I've made. You see, that was the first time I've bathed since I've arrived here, and I just been going through so much that I kind of forgot about this. I was just distracted, and then I saw myself, and I was reminded, and I'm ashamed. Like, since I've been here, I can't control my magic. And that's what got me in this mess in the first place. And Katya kind of motions to himself. This is not me. This is not who I'm supposed to be. The reason my name is Catherine is because I am Catherine. I was a woman until I decided it was a good idea to mix magic with alchemy. And since then, everything's just been so strange for me. the last 2 years of my life, I've been stuck looking like this. And just the other day, I was trying to use my magic. I'm trying to control it, and I almost killed you. Almost fried you alive.
Oh shoot! Hang on. Sorry.
Nope. His
Real life.
Valinar's priest phone is going off. Hang on, I have to take this call. Wait. But I'm complaining about my life story.
He's like, yes, God. All right, so while that's going on, we're just gonna do a
Sorry
real quick.
about that, guys.
Oh, okay, you're good. You're good. Never mind.
I had a weather alarm start going off.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Fantastic.
I'm good. It's just a storm thing.
Man, I'm really upset I'm not for this.
Huh?
I'm really kind of upset I'm not here for this. This would
Well-
have been interesting.
Something hilarious.
But you see, Valinar so far has been the only one to mind link with Katya and actually has some insight into this.
Yeah, I've heard the voice.
Yeah. So, do you see my problem here? I haven't. You're the only one who even remotely kind of knows about this. And, well, now you know everything. But the rest of the group, they don't know. Do you see the way that they look at me?
Well, you kind of dropped a few more hints than just the voice. That and they probably just think you're gay.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I look like a guy, but I'm over here staring at men.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to be a woman. I'm supposed to be attracted to men, but now I look like I'm some gay dude.
You know, fate's kind of a funny thing with that. You never know what's gonna happen. You never know who you're gonna be or what you're gonna do with your life. But me, I'm supposed to be a full priest. I'm not even actually a priest.
Well, I imagine
Yeah,
here
Not a full
you're.
priest.
I imagine being here and not home. Your title probably means little to nothing.
Oh, back home, I'm not even considered a holy man.
No.
Nope.
Then what are you considered back home?
Kind of haven't set foot in my hometown for. You know, I don't actually know how long, because it was a while before we even ended up in that cave. I'd imagine right now I'd probably be called a heretic, maybe,
Oh,
or
a
a heathen.
heretic. So you were outcast.
They did the head of the church did kind of try to have me executed.
Oh. Well, at least I haven't had that problem.
Yep.
But can you imagine? My own parents, they don't even know. They wouldn't recognize me, and they wouldn't know where to start.
Nope.
Because
Sorry, hang on, it's happening again.
Josh just like, hey, I need you over here again.
Wait, we're not done with you yet.
Inside my room, and it was literally them downgrading a warning to a watch.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Okay. Hopefully that won't happen again. Sorry, wait.
Put your phone on silent and it won't.
That's not my phone.
Oh.
So
I mean,
like weather radio thing.
Yeah, it's the weather radio.
Does it have a power
I've just
button?
been.
Anyway, go ahead. Continue. Sorry.
I just wanted to help with the water shortage for my people, and instead, I essentially cursed myself with. And then I have to face it every day. You know, I'm glad I don't see mirrors everywhere I go, or I just wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't ever leave this room.
Well, everyone has their own burdens to bear. Some heavier than others.
Unless
All
you're
I can-
Cardin. then you are the burden.
Otta, who's kind of in the corner, kind of snickers at that.
Oh, Ada, I didn't see you there. I didn't realize you were there. Now you've heard everything.
Yeah, he was kind of standing at the door when you started talking.
Oh.
You gonna it's all right. I understand. It's not easy, but then being someone who you're not. But at times you must do it to keep up appearances, in a sense. Yes. He kind of like gives a firm nod.
I've been doing the best that I could, and it hasn't been easy.
You know
And it's
what?
not gonna
Just
get
because
easy, but-
just because it's been a couple of weeks, I'm gonna have both of you two in the room go ahead and make a insight check on for me.
Insight.
13.
Oh, jeez.
Nat 20 for the third time
Okay.
tonight.
That's
We know what's going to happen when combat starts.
Uh-huh.
So-
One.
so Valinar,
Well,
you
The
kind
good
of
thing is I've been rolling like shit tonight. So
Mhm.
when
So-
combat
So Valinar, you kind of look over and you remember previously when you guys first met Otta, that you were the one that had incited this before, that Otta is a dwarf but beardless, trying to pass as a gnome.
Ah, yes.
Katya, you recognize all of this as well with a natural 20, as well as you get the feeling that he's not saying those words out of comfort, out of trying to comfort you. He's saying those words out of experience.
Mm.
And almost trying to reassure you as well as himself.
But at this point, I guess sitting around in this room isn't going to get me any closer to returning home. My people need me, and my appearance is secondary compared to my mission. But if we happen to find a way to change me back before I go home, even better. I'd appreciate that. It's part of why I'm trying to visit every magic shop I can find, beyond just finding ways to control the magic that I've been cursed with, essentially.
Otta
But if I
kind of
had
speaks and goes, you may want to visit Volta at the Wild Ferns. She is an arcane practitioner, but I don't know what her expertise is exactly, but she may be able to shed some insight.
You could give me somewhere to a lead.
It is the magic user in the town, the best mage, I guess I should say, in the town. If not him, maybe the librarian, Ezen. He might be able to shed some knowledge, maybe, or at least maybe help find some other information that might be useful. He's very old and very wise. Perhaps he might be of help.
Well, as long as we have time to spend prior to our meeting here, I suppose I could hit those places. At the
But
very least, get some information,
Mhm.
more insight into why these things happened, and maybe start looking for a solution.
I'd imagine we would have at least a few hours at this point in time. It's about midday, it looks like, before we get back with these writs. I would imagine it would be several hours before we would even have an opportunity to meet with the eldermen. So maybe in that time, if you go and visit Volta, you might have, some time to discuss with her.
Okay. I'll definitely do that. Though I fear I may be doing that alone if you and Valinar are setting up the meeting, and I don't even know where Cardin and Deanoch went off to.
Well, I'm sure you might find them in town. At least Carden. I'm sure he'll make a mess eventually anyway. Although the Dragonborn might stand out more.
He is hard to miss in a crowd.
He is, unless he's hiding behind somebody here. We get to give a few, individuals who will, stand out in a crowd, to say the least.
So Katya gets up off the bed, and says, "Well, I thank you both for listening and understanding. But let's not tell the other two quite yet. I'll tell them when I'm
My
ready."
lips are sealed, he says, and he kind of stands up and kind of brushes his pants off a little bit.
Rana shrugs. Your story, your decision.
Mm-hmm. When I'm ready, when the time is appropriate. But I had to get to the magic shop. Do you know where to find it here in town? Or do I just start walking around?
It's kind of on the way. Come. He kind of says Ada says as he kind of turns and begins to open the door to the room. And he'll take you there, lead you to the magic shop, and drop you off while he and Valinar goes to essentially the town hall. While all of that's happening,
Cool.
Cardin, you eventually make your way to a blacksmith. It's close to midday by this point in time. And eventually you arrive at a large blacksmith building. And the name on the front reads Hammersmith. Huh?
I said me like I'm
Okay.
going to go in. I'm going to go
Okay.
into the shop.
Okay.
I'm
So
gonna follow
as this is both a store and a smithy. You open. There's actually a door, and you step into what appears to be the essentially the store part, and you can kind of see in the back that there's this bright fire going on. And as you guys kind of enter through the door, you hear ding 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 ding, essentially of wind chimes above the door. As you guys hear in the back, tang tang. Be with you in a moment. Tang tang. And stepping around the corner, you actually notice stepping around the corner, you actually see this very large framed individual with this dark brown fur kind of covering its body and these large horns upon its head. You actually see a female minotaur step out from behind the barrier, essentially, from where the smith is.
Interesting.
And she kind of, can I help you? And she says that she's kind of like drying her or wiping her hands on a rag that she brought with her from behind the shop. She currently stands at about 7'8", kind of looking down at you guys.
What type of things do you sell here? Obviously metal.
I have all kinds. She kind of gestures to her walls in the shop here, and she has, as you look around, you can see she has a variety of blades, ranging from small blades to large blades, small hammers to these large, nasty-looking mauls. She kind of goes, anything particular you're looking for?
Let me look at those them big hammers over there.
And she kind of like, "Mm." And you watch it, and like as she steps, you can feel like parts of these. Like as she steps, you can feel parts of the floor kind of vibrating under her weight. And she kind of walks over to one of these mauls that she has on the wall, and she kind of grabs it with her right hand and pulls it off the wall and here, and kind of like sets it on the ground as she kind of flips it over and then sets it down. And it has a good heft to it as it kind of sets onto the ground with a sound. You walk over to it.
Walk over to it. This
Hold on, my dogs are barking.
Interesting.
Doggles.
What I do in other news. You've seen one of the new Switch games that's coming out.
Hmm?
Elaborate, please.
It's wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon. It's getting a Switch
Ah,
game.
fuck.
Wow. I don't know. I think I was more excited for the fairy tale one that's coming.
What?
What?
Yeah, fairy tale has a video game coming to Switch.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's legitimately just called fairy tale.
Is it like a fighting game or?
I want to say it's an RPG.
Ooh. Well, first I need to get a
Fighter
Switch.
RPG.
But I think it's also coming to PS4 and Xbox One.
Oh, well then there's no hurry.
Oh no, it's coming to PS4, Switch, and Windows.
Damn it! Why does it gotta be Windows?
You're
Okay.
Or
it's
Gold
not-
is on Steam now.
Oh
Are
wait,
you?
I have a PS4. Never mind.
Whoops.
I never use it though.
Are you an Apple boy?
Huh?
Apple?
Did I hear someone say something about Apple?
No, I was just asking if he was an Apple boy since he's like everything's. He was complaining that everything comes to Windows.
Okay,
Well,
so sorry about that. I'm back.
Yeah, that's me. Okay.
Everything comes to Windows, but you see, my computer can't handle gaming. I once tried to play Destiny 2 on there, and my entire computer shut down. Said no.
It's turn based. Okay.
Okay.
Blizzard was like, we don't do full refunds, and you know what happened? I got a full refund because it killed my computer.
Oh my god.
Anyways, back on
So
topic.
sorry about that. I totally forgot where we were. Oh,
The
blacksmith.
blacksmith with a
Blacksmith.
big
right.
hammer.
Okay. So, Carden, you go to pick it up. Carden.
Hmm?
Blind? Are you there? Blind?
Did you not hear me?
No, you
No,
got
you're
you still have to
again.
talk a little bit, dude.
No, I was talking, but apparently wasn't loud enough. But yeah, no, I go to pick up the hammer.
Okay. You kind of pick it up, and it feels a little bit. Well, actually, hold on. Let me see one for a second. Yeah. So this one feels a little bit heavier than your previous one. But it's got a good grip on it. It feels strong in a sense. You don't know if you'd be able to wield it as smoothly as this large minotaur person did, as she kind of flipped it around and sat it on the ground for you. But it definitely feels nice in your hands.
Much is this? Carden asked in a painful voice.
That's let's see, that mall there would be classified as a masterwork. So you're looking at 2-second mall. You're looking at probably 30 gold pieces for that mall.
Would you take some stuff in trade along with the gold?
If you have something worthy to offer a blacksmith.
I present him the bottle of Mr. Brew.
Of what?
The bottle of Mr. Brew.
Oh.
Okay, remind me, how much gold did that cost you?
It was most of my gold.
I want to say it was like 20.
Yeah, it was like 20 or 25.
Okay. So you're offering that and how much gold?
I'll offer him that and 9 gold. 10 gold. 10 gold.
10 gold? Okay, go ahead and make a persuasion check for me. Okay. You rolled a 2. Nope, an 11, sorry.
I rolled an 11.
You rolled an 11. I saw double ones. So you rolled a 2. Or, oh my god, I did it again. You rolled an 11.
That means you rolled a 2.
Not with bonuses. He kind of like looks at you and then looks at the brew and kind of like holds his hand out for the bottle, essentially.
I give the bottle over to him.
Well, it's a her. She kind of takes it and
her. Yeah.
Kind of like puts her large thumb over the bottle and turns it over, and then turns it right side up, and then kind of licks the thumb and kind of, not bad. Kind of corks the bottle again, and kind of looks down at. You said you had 10 gold at what you're also offering.
Yeah, I'm also offering 10 gold and
And that is a full bottle, correct? Like
that is a full bottle.
Okay. I wanted to make sure
that
that I wanted to make sure that like you weren't doing anything untoward.
Shifty.
Yeah. So she kind of like looks at it and kind of like looks around the shop, which is vacant at the moment. And she kind of goes, deal. And she kind of takes the bottle and kind of puts it in a back pouch and kind of holds out her hand, both in to shake your hand and to take your money.
Yep. I give her my money and shake her hand.
When she shakes your hand, first off, you're way smaller than her. So her hand almost envelops your entire hand and wrist. And she is strong. Like, she looks very big and intimidating, but the moment you shake her hand, you know that it's not just looks. She is very strong. But you have acquired a a Masterworks Maul. I will go ahead and change that in your sheet.
Yes.
Nice.
And that is a plus what?
1 second.
10. Plus 10.
No, so Masterwork weapons are slightly different than a +1 weapon. So a Master's Work weapon gives you a +1 to hit, just to the hit, and it's still not technically considered magical. It is just a very fine crafted weapon, which is why it's not as expensive as a magical weapon. But still more expensive than your normal weapon.
Yeah, Masterworks are nice.
Yeah. Actually, I gave you that is the right one because it's a 30 gold piece one. So that is a +1, essentially 2 hit weapon. Because like I said, it is built it's very well built, so maybe you won't shatter it on a rock again.
I mean, that was a long sword, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a great sword, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it is. So that is what it is. It gives you a +1 to hit. At least this Masterwork particularly. So.
Yes.
And then you still have your other Maul if you so desire it.
I mean, I'll just I'll be that dude that has like 2 mauls strapped to his back, like sort of like just crossways.
Gotcha.
You're gonna go double hammer.
You can't,
Hammer, bro.
Yeah, in D&D you have to use 2 hands, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, but
It looks intimidating. That, and if I lose one, I have a backup.
Ow.
there you are. Your character sheet and firmly updated.
Firmly.
All right. Denock, I'm assuming you are with him. So, is there anything you would like to look at while you're in here?
You got any nifty looking daggers?
Like, are you also looking for essentially Masterwork ones, or are you just looking for some just daggers? Because they have tons of daggers, ranging from crude to very fine craft to some very nasty looking blades.
Does anything here feel magical?
Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Oh, nice.
Oh wow! Look at that.
There's your nat
Exact
20.
Opposite spectrum. I rolled
Yep.
both 20 and a natural 1.
Heaven or hell, let's rock. With the natural 20, there are a few things magical in the shop. There, like I said, there are only a couple. Well, the ones that kind of stand out that you catch instantly are a great sword that is on the wall, and it's framed in a very beautiful frame. And the blade itself looks very immaculate and looks like somebody spent a very long time crafting this blade.
Mm-hmm.
The other one that you notice is actually a set of arrows, like arrowheads that are laid on a over near where the arrows and are fletched. You can see a bunch of like arrowheads that seem to have some dwarvish symbols on them, actually.
Okay. And that's it?
Those are the only things that are magical in here.
Mm-hmm.
You would also kind of understand that the forge itself is magical, but that's of what nature you're unsure.
Mm-hmm. I turn to the Minotaur blacksmith and say, I couldn't help but notice that sword on the wall. Not interested in buying it, but just, may I ask?
She kind of like turns and looks to it and kind of goes, that is, that is my husband's sword. He, he is, the one who taught me the trade. And, very wisely is, retired now. Old fool. And, puts it up there for purposes of, flaunting what he once was. The blade,
Magnum opus.
the blade itself is currently known as Steel Fury. Steel Fury. Previously known as Hell's Gate. And if you would like, you can make a history check on that name.
22.
2. Okay.
15 on the dice.
Uh,
History's one of my strong points, my boy.
I know, but even still, it's a very, very it's a fairly hard DC just because of the time period taken in. But with a 22, you get a little bit of kind of information. The name Hell's Gate has a few meanings. The one, but with a 22, you kind of understand, kind of basing it in context to the history of the world and the sword itself. Hell's Gate, as a name of a sword, is probably the sword of one of the. If you had to guess properly, it sounds like it is the blade of one of the paladins who fought on the front lines during the demon invasion. Legend says that he would slay demons and even higher tier demons on his own, sending them back to hell, earning him and his blade essentially the nickname of Hell's Gate, putting meaning that he has sent arguably more demons back to essentially the 9 hells than any other soldier in the United Army at that point in time. The fact that this blade is here indicates that paladin himself, if he were possibly still alive, is probably nearby, or at the very least buried nearby.
She said husband.
Yep.
Which would suggest they're both over 2,000 years old.
Or he just took a young wife.
In a Minotaur.
I didn't imply anything.
No, we're just picking up the pieces. We're picking up the crumbs that you're laying down for us, my dude.
Sure.
Interesting.
Alright, so Enoch thinks and turns to the Minotaur and says, when you say Hell's Gate, do you mean that Hell's Gate?
Oh, no, 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 no. That is
He
that
just
would
took the name as an inspiration.
no, no, no. The blade is very much the same, but it's a family heirloom. You see, this was this was my husband's. Let's see, great, 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 great
Yeah.
grandfathers. It's
Well
been in the
played.
family for about 7 generations now.
Incredible. A relic from the actual Demon Wars.
Hmm. One of the rarest, I'm told. I'm told Tolus holds a few, but outside of that, this is the only one I'm aware of that's outside of the main city.
I know of a few from my home. Magical mishap. I'm far from home.
Ah.
Uh,
Hmm.
we have a few of our own, but it's my first time actually seeing one this close. They're usually royal family treasure.
Hmm.
You
I don't
guys
know
have
about
actually ended the Demon Wars? Cardin says.
Deanoch turns and looks at Carden.
kind of the Minotaur kind of turns and kind of goes, no. And at this point she like sits down and pulls out a pipe and begins to kind of smoke on it. And she kind of, no, the Demon Wars were put on hold, I guess is the best way to put it. As you know, we are not on the surface of the material plane any longer, but rather thousands of feet above the surface, where the demons can't get to us. They, due to that, we have, spent many of our live generations preparing for returning to the surface, but, after several years, a lot of us kind of decided it wasn't worth it, and that living above the surface was an easier solution than going back and possibly just losing all over again. Now, there are still some families that are very adamant about going back and rescuing those who stayed behind. Again, Hell's Gate was one of those who went up during the ascension to train the new generations.
Okay.
In terms of ending the war, I wouldn't say we ended it, more like we just put it on pause. Perhaps, preferably, indefinite. Which is
Copy
why...
that.
Oh, okay, copy that.
Yeah. Which is why,
Which is why Hell's Gate will, probably never be, unsheathed again.
you might have a opportunity to do that at some point.
What do you mean, child?
At this point, the spectral hand peers over Carden's mouth, and Deanoch starts ushering Carden out. I just realized we have an appointment. We must go. We may see you later. Come on, Carden.
She kind of,
I'm gonna like wave my hand
come
back.
back anytime.
Region.
So you leave with your malls and begin to head out.
And on our way back, I want to have a conversation with Carden.
Okay, we will do that in a moment. I'm going to now skip over to we'll do Valinar and then we'll hit you, Katya. Just because Valinar's thing will probably be fairly quick.
Okay.
So, Valinar, you and Otta return to the town hall, to that individual at the desk who kind of looks at you guys and goes, "Hi, oh, welcome back. You have the proper paperwork." Kind of says an auto kind of, yes, we do, and here's the hands the writ over, and she kind of looks at the seal. Okay, I'm breaking this, and she breaks it and kind of reads it very quickly. Okay, and she kind of like looks at some of the paper on her desk and kind of moves some things around, and she goes, "The earliest meeting that they have is in about 3 hours from now. That's when they have some free time. You would have 30 minutes with them. Does that work, or would you rather wait until tomorrow?" Oda kind of looks to you, Valinar. He kind of goes, "Your guys' time schedule. Table."
As much as I'd like to do it today in 3 hours, my worry is being able to get everyone together in 3 hours and get back here. We don't really have an easy way of quick communication.
I mean, it's not a very large town.
Okay, question for the GM: would we be able to find? Would I be able to find everyone in 3 hours?
I mean, probably.
Unless you roll a low roll.
Yeah.
I mean, at the very least, you have a feeling that everybody would probably be meeting back up at the tavern by dinner time, which would be about 2-ish hours from now.
So probably just today in 3 hours would probably be good then.
Okay. She kind of goes, "Okay, very well," and she kind of pencils you in. "Return here. I have the note. I will remember your faces. See you in 3 hours."
Okay.
And you guys leave, and Valinar, you are free to go wherever. I don't know if there's anything particular that you are looking for or not.
Nope.
Okay.
No.
All right. Then we return to Katya as you are dropped off at the magic store, the Wild Ferns, by Ada and Valinar. You kind of walk in and you see a female gnome sitting behind the desk, who you assume is Vota. Each kind of,
Yes.
"Yes, can I help you?"
Yes, ma'am. I'm looking for who I was told to be the most powerful mage in the city.
Oh, whoever is telling you that is just trying to flatter me, boy. Oh, what can I do for you?
I'm looking for a few solutions to personal problems of my own. I'm going to explain it really quick, and you see if you can help me. I got into a magical mishap about 2 years ago, where I was fooling around with forces that I had no control over. I used magic while I was using alchemy. It went wrong, and now I'm stuck as a man instead of a woman. Also, as a side effect of that, I now have uncontrollable magic that I would like to learn how to control better.
It sounds like you had an issue. This is particular indeed. Let me make a roll for her. Where did my there it is. Where did my D20 go?
On the table.
Well, I mean, I found it. Give me.
I can tell you from experience, magic is rather finicky when you are not proficient with it.
Oh, yes, that is very true, dear. I've spent many years trying to master the craft, if you would. It's very tricky indeed. Sometimes it doesn't want to work. Sorry, I'm actually trying to find a specific spell that I know that I know kind of exists. For whatever reason, this thing is not wanting to cooperative for me.
Looks like Katya will never have a solution.
No, they rolled pretty well, so I got to get the information that they would have gained from trying to find it. Spell that is fairly new to the game.
So I probably won't find it in my spell book.
No.
Definitely not.
I think. Give me 1 second. Here I am.
Patient presents with impossible conundrum. Solution in progress.
It is a very I know what spell I'm thinking of. I just don't remember the name of it.
Oh man. Well, that really narrows it down.
I know it's frustrating for me trying to find it. I'm not finding it. So make it published. Okay, well then I will have to search the interwebs for that at a later date, because I'm not going to sit here and continue to do that on stream. I will find it, hopefully, at a later date, and just kind of have it on hand. So
I feel like she says, "I think I know it. I think I know what is the solution, but you'll have to come back later."
No. It's so sounds like have you ever heard of the weave, child?
I've done a little bit of study on magic since this befell me. Would I do like an Arcana check to see if I do know what she's talking about?
I mean, you can, but at disadvantage because of your innate magical prowess.
Well, that's a nat 1, so I know nothing.
Natural one. Natural one.
I've rolled all nat 20s and now a nat 1. I'm all natural.
It begins now, don't it?
So, learning that you basically don't know anything about the weave, she kind of goes, well, the weave is the magical force that connects everything to, well, everything. Magic is everywhere and yet nowhere at the same time. The weave is what connects it. It sounds to me like you fucked up your weave.
You don't say.
The weave within your body seems to have been crossed with perhaps a different magical essence and is tied in knots in a sense. And whenever you have one of these outbursts, you have a surge in a sense, and magic goes off without your control. And normally you have some level of control over it and it happens. But with this, it's almost unpredictable at times.
Hmm.
And having the magic being, well, random and wild is also kind of a rarity, my boy. It's very unique to an individual, and sometimes, well, it can be both a blessing and a curse. If you can learn to control it and untangle the weave within your body, you can become one of the most powerful mages in the land.
Ooh. But at what cost?
Well, that depends on how far you're willing to go. Some people stop at just powerful, some people try to pursue it until they're effectively immortal, but, few reach
What good
that
is
point.
what good is immortality if I still look like this?
Imagine being able to bend the will of the cosmos at a whim. You could you could look like you could look like me. You could look like a earlier version of yourself. You could look like I don't know, like a dragonborn if you so desired.
So what you're saying is there's a possibility that perhaps I've already come to a solution. I am the most powerful mage in the land, and then I came back to run a magic shop so I could teach myself in the past how to become the most powerful mage in the land.
That you could be, boy, but I wouldn't know. Or if I would, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I don't know how that would work.
Oh, my brain. Uh, well, but um,
I tell you what, if you want to roll for this, she knows this. And nope. All right. She kind of just, yeah, I would advise on trying to untangle the weave within your body. Spend some time and understand and feel how the magic flows through you and out of you. When you untangle the weave, you will know how to control the magic and be able to bend the universe in a sense.
so how does one go about untangling the weave? Just practicing with magic?
That is a way. It's a very hands-on experience. There are others who she kind of like holds her hands up and you watch as almost pulling from her hands, you watch as um these thin blue lines of arcane magic kind of begin to wiggle their way towards one another like a spider web and eventually kind of loop and tie and make essentially a knot of these tangled threads of arcane energy just above her hand. One may try to untangle by force, and that would be like casting your spells and learning about the magic. And you watch as one of the threads kind of turns this reddish color as it kind of follows one of the strings. And the moment it hits like a knot, it stops. And eventually the thread becomes bigger, like slightly bigger and bigger, and then it bursts. And you can see there that the thread itself kind of goes off and kind of reconnects elsewhere to a different thread. When you force it that way, you do untangle it, but that would be the explosion. That would have been your surge in a sense, and it would reattach elsewhere, and eventually it would straighten all of your lines. Others, however, and you watch as another strand begins to turn an even brighter shade of blue, and it traces. Will follow the strand. And you watch as it begins to loop in and out and around to the knot, following it this way and that way, circling back around through different little holes that it has. and eventually winding up in her other palm. Others will trace the weave. And she kind of pulls her hands apart, and you watch as the one strand that's even brighter falls from the tangled mess. And the strand may come loose. She kind of shakes her hands, and the image dissipates. How one does this, I am unsure, as I simply study the arcane. I don't, never had an issue of having to untangle my weave. I never tangled it. So
Perhaps a good place to start would be to visit the library and see if I can find more information on what the weave actually is.
perhaps, and that may be a good place to start. I suggest starting at the library in Tullus. They have a very large selection, and they tend to keep a lot of books on a variety of different things.
Okay, library in Tullus. That is where I'm heading next, so that makes perfect sense.
I will say, if it is possible, try to visit the one in the Crown Ward. It's a she kind of looks at you. It'll be difficult, but you may be able to get in. It's, they would have probably the most detailed books.
Uh-oh.
Who did we lose?
He's back.
Okay, I think Discord, like, I heard it's like the Crown District, the library in the Crown District. And it's silence. I'm like, it's a what? It's a what? Tell me.
There was a pause there, and she kind of told you that it was the it probably has the most detailed records.
Okay. I figured it had to be something along those lines, but Discord is like, you're not going to hear the rest of this conversation.
Discord just don't like you.
On the bright
know,
side, it didn't
you
do
know
it
what?
until
That's-
almost midnight, so...
I know. That's one time. One time. All night. That's a new record. Let
Okay.
me just jot all this
Is
down.
there anything else you would like to do while you're here?
No, ma'am. I think that's all. Thank you for your assistance in this matter. I
Yeah.
have to get back to my companions. I can't be away too long.
No,
I fear they'll be lost without me.
no problem. On your way out, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Uh-oh. Perception. I don't like perception. 13.
At least one on that one.
She rolled a 2. You hear kind of as like the door is closing, she kind of goes, "Oh, what are the odds? Two cheapskates in one day." Kind of like talking to herself.
Ow.
All right. So, for the sake of expediency here, is there anything anybody else would like to do over the next hour or so in the city? I think everybody's already covered everything they wanted. Oh wait, you wanted to have a conversation with Cardin.
Yes.
Okay, let's go ahead and have that conversation, and then I think that will be an appropriate point to end it, and we'll pick up next week where we have the meeting. So let's go ahead and have that conversation.
Okay. So, on our way back, I turned to Cardin. Blind, are you there?
Yes, over here.
Okay, just wanted to make sure before I started. I turned to Cardin and... So, based on what you said back there, and a few other things you brought up, Are you saying that you've fought demons before?
I've heard recent stories of larger tribes who have been wiped out
You
by.
also actually,
Mhm.
Carden,
Yeah.
your clan would have had dealings or skirmishes with demons very off and on, even during your lifetime. Just
We
because
are a
it.
larger one,
Mhm.
larger
Well,
clan.
when you were larger, definitely. And even now, like as you guys are smaller, if you guys come across like a demon or two, the demons aren't just willing to let you go; they do attack you. So you guys do have skirmishes with them from time to time, but uh, they're about as it's probably about as rare as rain in July or June, I guess, because this has been like the 5th driest June ever.
Oh yeah, sure it has.
Or whatever.
Oh no, for the state
It's
of
good for
for the
you.
state of
Oh, yeah.
Indiana,
Ah,
this has been
there we go.
this has been the fifth driest month of June in Indiana history.
Wow.
Yeah.
And here, just yesterday, we got so much rain, I actually could not go to work because I had a river flowing in front of my house.
I
Uh-huh. Looked like Harvey all over again.
always forget that you served. Anyway, you would know that, Carden.
Okay. I wasn't sure how many of the stories I would know, or how many skirmishes I would have participated in.
Participated in probably like 3, maybe.
Turn over to Dinock, I say. I've heard stories, but also my tribe has had various encounters with these demonic scum. I've fought them around 3 times, and that's not even the only 3 times we've seen them in my lifetime.
So you're saying that the demons are common where you're from?
They're not common. They're more like
Well, more common than on any of the islands we know
yes, very much more common than the islands. They're still rare to see unless you have a larger tribe.
of. And you were saying, what was your home area like?
Forest and mountains and foresty mountains,
Basically.
Were there
basically.
any large bodies of water?
Remember.
There were, but you guys tended to not visit those ones very often because they were salty and undrinkable.
Okay.
Delicious.
I know of a few, but we never went close to them.
Why not?
It's salt water. We couldn't drink it.
Salt water?
Hey,
You're not
here
there.
yet.
I know. Sorry.
Go ahead and make a history check
Yeah.
for me, Dinock.
Soft 20.
Top 20. Salt water, as you had read in one of your books as a child, is something only found in a large body of water called an ocean. You've never seen one. You've never seen a body of water that has salt in it. I would assume as a curious child you have probably put salt in water to taste it to see what it tastes like. Just correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like that's something Dinock probably would have done. And
Probably oversalted something.
yeah, or oversalted something, and you know how like dry mouth it can cause you to be and dehydrated. Uh, but it's like a it's like a fairy tale that you have scientifically tested. That it would be possible to have existed. But you can't say for sure because you've never seen one. Kind of like dinosaurs.
But I do know that they have, so far, to our knowledge, have only been on the surface.
Correct.
Enoch just, as he's walking, kind of slows down a little bit and just gets this odd look on his face, and he just starts smacking his lips. I think we need to get to the rest of the group.
Probably at some point.
I think sooner than later. This might be a bit more groundbreaking than even other islands being around. You're from, I believe you are from the surface.
Dun dun dun.
Exactly.
And I think that's where we'll end the session. And so what we'll do is next week we'll pick it up essentially where you guys are meeting back up, probably at the tavern, to go to the meeting with the Elderman. So yeah, I think that's a good place to end it for the night.
Dun dun dun.
It is starting to get a little bit late. So yeah. So first off, I want to thank everybody who came out and kind of watched the stream. If you didn't catch the first bit of it, it'll all be on the archives later, as well as the Big Ripper YouTube channel later. And we will have it uploaded onto Podbean later this week. Excuse me. And I will post a link on that to my on my Twitter later this week. So follow me on Twitter at Big Ripper, and you'll be able to get all of the announcements, latest updates, and scheduling changes, things like that. Like I said, I'm also going to post the Podbean link on my Twitter probably Monday. Probably when I'll. So anyway, other than that, we will be you can find myself, Blind, and Rom here on this channel on Sunday, Monday, Wednesday at about 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, playing Borderlands. Currently, we are going through the presqueal, and we will continue to do so until we beat it, and then we will move back to Commander Lilith, and then on to 3, I believe.
Yes.
Yep.
That's everything I got. However, Romulus does some things. Why don't you tell the people what you do?
Yep. Over on my channel, twitch.tv/Romulus, you can find me playing Dark Souls 3 Cinders mod. I just recently beat Twin Princess. Woo! That means that all of the base game, except for the final boss, the Soul of Cinder himself, is done. But instead of going against him, we're going to go and do the DLCs next. And then save the Soul of Cinder for last. So we'll get started on the Ashes DLC when you meet me on my channel on Thursday night at 9 o'clock.
And as always, every Friday you can catch us here, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, playing D&D, being a bunch of idiots, as you can tell from this session tonight. I wouldn't necessarily call it being an idiot. It's just
that wasn't idiot. That was some good roleplay.
I mean,
it was
Pretty fun tonight.
Yeah, tonight was definitely Tonight was definitely RP heavy.
Yeah.
We'll see what next week holds in store for us.
Lots of big deals, big plot twists, and shocking revelations.
Yep.
I mean, not really.
On D&D.
I think all the revelations were today.
Anyway,
Yeah.
catch us out.
Unfortunately, they were all separate groups.
Yep. Catch us next week, and as we explore more of these reveling facts. And in the meantime, guys, you guys have a great night. Don't forget to share and support the channel in the way that you can. We appreciate everybody that comes out and supports us. It means a whole lot to us. Hope you guys have a great weekend and have a good night. Night.
See you all next week.
All right, y'all.
Night.